Hi everyone in English 2323, it's Dr. E and I'm here with your week 10 instructional video. If you haven't, go ahead and take a look at the supplemental video where I walk through some of the things to work on this week, especially the technology. So give that a look and let me know if you have any concerns or questions. So we are in week 10, but I'm actually going to scroll down. This is our schedule that's posted on D2L. To week 11, just because I want you to note that the last day to withdraw from a course with a W is going to be next Monday, the 12th. So just something to keep in mind. I certainly wouldn't want any of you to drop this course, or for, if that's a decision you need to make, please just make sure that you're reaching out to me so we can talk about it and see if there are options, if you are open to those. Just touch base with me. This is probably a bigger kind of reminder for those of you who may not be participating. I'm assuming you're probably not going to watch this video, but just in case you are, just note that if folks haven't participated in a while, I'm just going to assume that they shouldn't be in the class anymore, that things may be going on, so those folks will be dropped. So reach out to me if you haven't been around for a while. Okay, so we are in week 10 currently, and I'm just going to pull up D2L to walk through where to go, what to do, etc. This is an announcement, a reminder that you can download a free version of Microsoft Word by following this link and going to the Office of Technology Services website. It's going to be pretty important this week, but of course in all weeks that you're a college student, to have access to those programs because they are just a part of college life at this point. So if you follow this link, you can go through the instructions, and I talk a bit more about this in the supplemental video, but you have free access to versions of PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Word. There's also a note about the reading journal. If you didn't see that, I posted it last week, so April 1st, where there's instructions on how to view that feedback and turn it in for the reading journal. And I made a video about some of the things I was seeing, just so that, prior to the most recent submission, because you had another submission due in our last week of instruction. So prior to that, you could kind of get a look and see what you might need to revise before resubmitting. And then of course, there's information about the revise and resubmit folder and extra credit. All right, I'm going to take us now to the content area, where we will go to our week 10, right? This is what it should look like. And I don't want y'all to be overwhelmed by what you see. There's just a lot of added instruction that is repeated in some of the supplemental video, but also in the discussion post for this week. So I'm just trying to hit this on all fronts to make sure that everybody knows where to go to find some information and everybody knows what to do. So for this week, you need to prepare your paper topic portfolio, and then you will read How to Write Meaningful Peer Review Praise, and that's by Peter, and it is posted in D2L. And you want to watch a brief video about just good peer review practices and strategies. It's probably been a while for some of you since you were involved in peer review, and some of you may have not had many, if any, experiences with peer review. So this gives us some good kind of background to go on. And we're reading these things and watching that brief video rather than pushing forward in our course text, right? Because this week is essentially kind of, let's work on our writing assignment, let's work on that together, and then we'll get back into our kind of reading schedule. So for Monday, of course, watch the instructional videos. I do put here to review the assignment guidelines for the portfolio and the video. So I've posted those links down as well. So everything's posted on Monday. And then on Thursday, what you'll need to do is post your portfolio. You are going to be in groups for y'all's classes. I placed you in particular groups like we did previously, so you'll need to find that thread with your name in it. And you will, by Thursday, just post your work as a Word file, so either in .doc or .docx format. And then, so you're posting that. I am going to look, this 15 points is just, did you post it on time? Did it follow the guidelines? Is it in MLA formatting? I'm just looking for that kind of stuff. And then this is just a reminder of, you must provide feedback to every group member in your group. Everybody who posts their work, you need to provide that feedback. Mark up their document, everything I kind of talk in the supplemental video. and respond to their post, okay? So all of that is going to be due by Sunday. So that's a pretty quick turnaround time. Some of you have 2 other people in your group. Some of you may have 3 other people in your group. So between Thursday and Sunday, you need to go in and peer review each of those portfolios for your group members and make sure you're responding to the prompts as we do every week. Okay, so I have always encouraged you, I did this in the supplemental video, if you can post before Thursday, go ahead, go for it. Get it out there so that your group members can start early if they need to, depending on their life or work schedules. And then, you know, get that feedback before Sunday if possible. It's of course not required, but you know, it's never a bad thing to kind of work ahead. For this grade right here, I am looking at your feedback to one another. So I'm going to look at all the feedback you post to every group member and see how complete it is. Have you taken your time and offered thoughtful peer review feedback? Or is it just very surface level? Are you just kind of going through the motions? You're not really taking your time. You're not really providing useful, constructive feedback to one another. So that's your grade. This grade is for you responding to other people in the post. So you have a prompt that you'll respond to, have you responded to everyone, and show that you've read all of the feedback you received. Okay, so go in and if somebody posts their feedback to you, respond to them after you look it over and say, hey, thanks, I didn't notice this, or hey, you know, I'm really glad you referenced, you know, whatever, fill in the blank, and then your participation quiz grade, okay? And then we'll move into the revision of that next week. So I wanted to give you a view of next week as well. So in the area for week 10, there's the supplemental video that you should take a look at. And this is DePeter's article. And y'all, we're really just reading this in order to kind of shake off the cobwebs if it's been a while, or to learn about how to go about peer review in a constructive, meaningful way. So DePeter gives us examples and provides us with, you know, information that can help us really push past, you know, sometimes we don't want to, you know, seem like we're being judgy or seem like we're being really harsh towards other people's writing. And so DePeter is offering us some strategies about how to just do some meaningful responses, right? So that's a really helpful article to read, and that's why we're reading it, of course. And then the link to the video you should watch is here within the schedule, okay? There is the instructional video for the portfolio assignment, so give that a watch. It's never a bad idea before, you know, a big assignment to kind of review the guidelines. The rubric is right here as well. And I have posted a template for you to use for the portfolio. I'm always going to try to provide you with a template. So here is yours. This is another reason why you need to have a version of Microsoft Word on your computer. Some of you have mentioned some issues with downloading and utilizing the templates, and the only thing I can come up with in order to resolve that issue is the understanding that you may not have a recent version of Microsoft Word or Microsoft Word on your computer at all. This is particularly an issue for those of you working with Macs or MacBooks. So, you know, if you have a Mac, that's okay. You can still download a Word for Mac. That's what I have on my computer because I use a Mac computer, and I have a specific Word version that is for my computer, okay? So remember, you know, you want to make sure that you update the header at the top. So just double click your mouse in here and then put your name, double click outside of that, and then just change all of this, right? So we have our title, paper portfolio. This is all 12-point font, Times New Roman. It is spaced properly. I can't encourage you enough to use this, because if you're just starting your own document, the spacing is off. Okay, so your abstract paragraph should be in italics, right? So if you go, you have the little I here, you want to make sure that that's kind of leaning, and that's to provide some context about the writing experience for this post, how you revised it. Just look at the rubric and the video instructions. This is where you will have your revised post, right? Make sure that you're following MLA guidelines anytime you quote. I put include a works cited page with your 3 sources. If you have a source mentioned, which you should probably in every paper topic, some of you may have more sources, follow MLA guidelines. So I just left 1 space, and then I started my second paragraph that's an abstract explaining, you know, the background of the revision, what you went through to update it, if you changed your ideas. And then you have your second paper topic post, okay? And then here I have one space between, and then this is your third, right? So I want you to note that I put a reminder here. You need a works cited that includes every reference, you know, every person you reference or cite within your posts. That's a biography is a different entry than a primary text, is a different entry than one of our background chapters, okay? So I put here, visit the Purdue OWL website, and in the MLA area, find the section for book citations, and then a work in an anthology. So here is the Purdue OWL website, and on the left-hand side, we have different options. We want to go to book, and then we scroll down, and we want to focus on the fact that everything in our book is essentially an entry or a work within an anthology, okay? So this is how you would cite it. Of course, you would double space it. You have the author's last name, comma, first name, the title of whatever it is, whether it's a, you know, biography of Tennyson, then it would be Alfred Lord Tennyson. The title of our book, edited by, publisher, year, page, range. Okay, so those are little things you need to make sure you're paying attention to for everything you reference, right? So, and your works cited goes on its own page. So just a few things. At this point in your college career, given that you're in this class, you should have had some experience with English 1301 and potentially 1302. But if you have any concerns or questions, you can of course post in the Q&A area of D2L or send me an email, but do that sooner rather than later, okay? There's the link for the quiz, and here is your peer review. So if you click on this discussion area, all of the instructions, just take it slowly, go through it. I've put all the documents and everything here. I have links. There is your prompt. This is the actual prompt you need to type in the text box, right? And then some reminders. And so I've placed you in groups, okay? So I'm just going to click on this, the first example, and what I've done is posted my own, okay, just to use as an example, right? So when you start your thread, just hit reply, put your name here, okay, or, you know, Dr. E portfolio, however you want to do it, just so that we can differentiate this thread. You're going to type your response. And then you're going to click post, but before you do that, you want to attach your document, right? So go and upload. So you'll see that, let me show that again. I have the add attachments area here. I'm going to upload my portfolio, right? I'm not going to do that, but once you load it, you'll be able to see it here as kind of a hyperlink, and then you'll click post, okay? I want you to note that when you're replying to one another and posting their feedback, you need to look specifically and reply specifically in that person's thread. Don't hit reply to thread, because it sometimes feels like, oh, I'm replying to this person, but you have to click reply within that thread to then respond to that person individually. So don't get thrown off, just take your time, work slowly, do whatever you need to do. And remember that your feedback to all your group members is due by Friday. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. Your feedback to all group members is due by Sunday, but if you haven't had anybody post in your group area by Friday afternoon, let me know, because I need to figure something out so that you're getting feedback from people so that you can work on your revision. So if none of your group members post by Friday afternoon, get in touch with me ASAP. All right, y'all, so that's generally where we're headed for week 10 in the peer review. Like I said, post in the Q&A discussion area if you have any concerns or questions, or you can reach out to me, okay? But remember, just watch those videos just to review all the guidelines and be extra careful with completing your paper portfolio to share this week. And good luck with peer reviewing. We should really be offering good, useful, constructive feedback.